What if some of the most powerful flavors in human history simply disappeared? Not from books, not from museums, but from our everyday food. From Roman villas to the gardens of Egyptian temples, ancient farmers cultivated herbs so influential that losing them meant losing an entire layer of civilization's taste memory. These plants were not background details of history, they shaped medicine, cuisine, ritual, and trade. When they vanished, something essential vanished with them. Let's step back into those gardens and uncover what time quietly erased. Few plants were ever as celebrated or as completely lost as silphium. Silphium cyrenaica. In the ancient world, this golden-flowered plant was worth its weight in silver. Coins were stamped with its image. Entire cities built their wealth around it. Greek physicians prescribed silphium for ailments ranging from coughs to digestive disorders to childbirth, while Roman cooks shaved it over roasted meats as if it were a luxury seasoning reserved for the elite. Its flavor was described as a fusion of fennel, garlic, and something no longer found in nature. Rich, complex, and strangely addictive. So desirable was this taste that silphium became one of the most prized exports across the Mediterranean, traveling from North Africa to the tables of Rome. Yet silphium was fragile. It grew in only one place, a narrow strip of land along the North African coast. Attempts to cultivate it elsewhere failed completely. Like a performer unwilling to leave the stage where it was born, silphium simply refused to grow anywhere else. By the 1st century CE, demand outpaced nature. Harvests intensified, fields emptied, and then, without ceremony, the plant vanished forever. Imagine combining basil with truffle oil, and then imagine never tasting it again. That was the fate of silphium. To medieval monks, rue, Ruta graveolens, was a plant of defense against insects, illness, and even unseen forces. In the ancient world, its reputation was no less formidable. Roman soldiers carried sprigs of rue to protect themselves from infection during long campaigns, while Greek athletes chewed its leaves to sharpen their vision and focus before competition. Rue was not subtle, and it was never meant to be. Its flavor? Intense, bitter, unmistakably medicinal, like parsley pushed to its limits. Cooks handled rue with caution, blending it with honey and wine to soften its harshness in sauces and stews. Physicians praised it for aiding digestion and easing joint pain, while its philosophers believed it sharpened perception and cleared the mind. Over time, rue's strength worked against it. As tastes shifted toward milder herbs, it was judged too aggressive, too uncompromising, and gradually disappeared from everyday cooking. Yet for a plant that flavored meals, repelled pests, and served as medicine, rue has been unfairly forgotten. In Roman kitchens, lovage, Levisticum officinale, was a force of nature. Think of celery, amplified. Leaves, roots, and stems all carried powerful aroma and depth. Wealthy Romans grew lovage in villa gardens, while medieval monasteries cultivated it alongside mint and sage for its digestive benefits. It was valued not for delicacy, but for impact. Lovage was more than seasoning. Physicians prescribed it for kidney trouble, bloating, and sore throats. Even its hollow stalks were reused, candied as treats, or turned into drinking straws for spiced wine. It was a plant that earned its place everywhere it grew, in kitchens, gardens, and infirmaries alike. But as exotic spices like pepper and cinnamon arrived from afar, lovage slipped quietly into obscurity. Today, it survives only in isolated rural traditions, waiting, referenced in scripture, praised by Hippocrates, and grown in sacred gardens. Hyssop, Hyssopus officinalis, was never just an herb. It represented purity. Its small violet flowers and fragrant leaves were used in both cooking and ritual. Greek doctors brewed it into teas for respiratory illness, while Roman cooks added it to salads and meat marinades to cut through rich flavors. Its taste was sharp and slightly minty with a bitter edge that balanced heavy food. But hyssop's value extended far beyond flavor. Before chemical cleaners existed, it was scattered across floors to freshen the air, burned to ward off disease, and infused in vinegar as a general tonic for daily health. As modern life introduced packaged products, synthetic scents, and industrial solutions, hyssop quietly faded away. For a plant capable of cleansing homes, seasoning food, and soothing coughs, its absence today feels almost unjustified. Chervil, Anthruscus cerefolium, was the aristocrat of ancient herbs, prized not for strength, but for restraint. Introduced to Rome from the Caucasus, chervil quickly earned a place in imperial kitchens. Roman cooks relied on it to lift egg dishes, lighten soups, and refine fish without overpowering the main ingredients. Physicians, meanwhile, valued chervil for its gentle cleansing and diuretic properties, prescribing it where stronger remedies would do more harm than good. Its aroma, a soft blend of parsley and anise, made it especially suited for spring cooking when freshness mattered more than intensity. Chervil didn't shout, it whispered. But chervil had a weakness: heat. It thrived only in cool, damp plots and bolted the first sign of summer sun. Ancient farmers learned to grow it in shaded plots, harvesting its tender leaves early before warmth stripped it of flavor. Timing was everything. As agriculture gradually shifted toward uniform, high-yield crops that could withstand transport and storage, chervil's fragility became a liability. It didn't travel well. It didn't store well. Today, it survives mostly in French cuisine. Once it was a mark of refinement, a quiet accent in a loud culinary world. Today, coriander, Coriandrum sativum, feels ordinary, almost invisible. In antiquity, it was anything but. Egyptians placed coriander seeds in tombs as offerings for the afterlife, believing they aided digestion even beyond death. Romans imported it by the shipload, grinding its seeds into sauces, marinades, and spiced wines. Greek physicians prescribed it for stomach ailments and as a natural breath freshener. Its leaves, what we now call cilantro, were divisive even then, bright and citrusy to some, unpleasantly soapy to others. The debate is ancient. Still, coriander's versatility made it indispensable. Seeds were baked into bread, leaves layered over fish and vegetables, roots crushed into pastes for medicinal ointments. Few herbs worked harder across so many uses. As European tastes shifted towards sweeter, milder herbs, coriander lost prominence. Yet for thousands of years, it was the backbone of the spice cabinet, flavorful, medicinal, and ready to travel the Silk Road. In ancient Rome, fennel, Feniculum vulgare, symbolized more than nourishment. It symbolized strength. Gladiators chewed fennel seeds before entering the arena, believing it granted courage and endurance. Greek athletes followed the same ritual before the Olympic Games, trusting in its stimulating effect. Fennel grew everywhere: villa gardens, roadside edges, open fields. Seeds flavored bread, bulbs were roasted with meat, and feathery fronds freshened salads and stews. Medicinally, fennel did everything. It calmed digestion, promoted milk production in nursing mothers, and was even used as an early appetite suppressant. Farmers prized its resilience. It required little care and returned year after year, reseeding itself without complaint. But as imported spices flooded Europe and modern agriculture favored standardized crops, fennel lost its central role. Today it lingers in traditional recipes, a reminder of its former rule. Anise, Pimpinella anisum, was the sweet note of the ancient table. Romans baked it into bread, Egyptians brewed it into aromatic teas. Greek healers relied on it to soothe coughing fits and ease breathing. Its licorice-like sweetness was unlike any other herbal flavor and became synonymous with celebration and indulgence. Anise functioned as both dessert and medicine, easing digestion after heavy meals and refreshing breath in an age with minimal dental care. Roman soldiers carried anise seeds on long marches, chewing them to lift morale and stamina. As sugar became more widespread across Europe, anise lost its role as a natural sweetener, replaced by candies and imported flavors. Still, for centuries, it marked the perfect ending to a meal, light, aromatic, and restorative. Known to Romans as savory, savory was the herb of gathering and joy. Pliny the Elder claimed it stimulated both appetite and conversation, making it a staple of communal meals. Its peppery, thyme-like flavor was strong enough to season meat, beans, and bread without the need for additional spices. Farmers cultivated two varieties: summer savory, fast-growing and delicate, and winter savory, hardy enough to survive frost. Both were prized for antibacterial properties that helped preserve food before refrigeration. Savory was also believed to enhance desire, earning it a place not only in kitchens but in love potions as well. When pepper and chili arrived in Europe, savory declined, yet for centuries, herbs were what brought people together at the table and beyond. In ancient Greece, marjoram, or Organum majoranum, symbolized happiness and abundance. Woven into wedding crowns, its sweet floral aroma flavored meats, stews, and wines in both Greek and Roman cuisine. Physicians prescribed it for headaches, breathing troubles, and melancholy, a botanical antidepressant long before the concept existed. Marjoram thrived on dry Mediterranean hillsides, dried easily, retained its aroma for months, and traveled well along trade routes. Over time, oregano, its louder, wilder relative, replaced it in many dishes. But at its height, marjoram represented balance itself, proof that sometimes the quietest herbs leave the deepest impression.